And just like that, segment number 2, Sideline Junkies, Redskins perspective. Like I said before, we are not associated with the Redskins. This is just our opinion, and we are happy to give it. Once again, I'm BJ along with KG, and we roll into the second segment talking about our 32-27 loss to Philadelphia. We're going to roll into the defense, talk about the defense a little bit more. It's a couple of plays that stand out. We'll talk about that. Then we're going to give our grades for each unit, and then grades for each unit. What else, KG?
Oh, stars for each unit.
Stars for each unit. Stars for each unit. So let's go ahead and rock and roll. I'll give you the mic, the floor first. KG, talk to me defensively. Redskins yesterday at the Eagles.
First thing that comes to mind, no pass rush. None whatsoever. The pass rush was non-existent from either side up the middle anywhere. They stopped the run in the first half, but the pass rush was not there. You have the front seven. You got an animal like John Boss who can cover from sideline to sideline. Yes, Sean Dion Hamilton is young, but he can play his position. He just has to learn. Cole Holcomb made a name for himself because his name was called a lot yesterday, and he flowed in at middle linebacker and really did his thing. Now,
8 solo tackles, 2 for loss.
He made a name for himself, the rookie out of North Carolina. Now on the back end, Landon Collins made a good stop behind the line on the goal line, but everybody's jumping on Josh Norman because of giving up a long one to D-Jax. Now D-Jax was 8 catches, 154, 2 touchdowns. Speaking of which, his pregame, he had on customized Nipsey Hussle cleats.
I didn't see those.
And I was like, yeah, that's why he played the way he did. You know, the marathon continues. Remember that. Victory lap, baby. But one thing you cannot do, and it's something I talked to Professor Lucky about earlier, you can't run with D-Jax in this game. He's like, you thought Michael Vick was a Madden gamer. That's he's a video gamer. Because it just in real life, that's what D-Jax is. You send him on the fly. He had those DBs shook after that first catch.
Yes, he did.
And yes, he did. Josh Norman kind of sort of got beat, but it wasn't his fault. He had safety help over the top. Don't know what happened. No safety help over the top. Another player
safety help. Safety help. Let's get into safety help. Okay. Josh Norman was not at fault for that play. Josh Norman cannot keep up with DeSean Jackson. Josh Norman went into 5th gear on that play, and D-Jax went into 6th gear and let go. That's not Norman's fault. As a defensive coordinator, one, he should have never been on D-Jax one-on-one, man-to-man. He should have never been on D-Jax one-on-one. And if you're going to put him on there, you have to have safety help over the top. I don't understand why you think Josh Norman is going to keep up with DeSean Jackson one-on-one. We're not just talking about any receiver. We're talking about one of the best deep ball receivers the league in history has ever seen. This is what you're dealing with here. You know what he's going to do, and he's so good at it, he still beats you at it, okay? We talking about, say, 2 plays that come to mind. Monte Nicholson. Something else I'm not going to blame him for. He had to pick his poison, okay? And it's easy for us to sit back and say, well, I would have chosen to pick that way. It was a play where he was playing over the top, and I think was that Alshon Jeffrey that he initially broke to coming across the field?
It was either him or Nelson Aguilar.
Okay, he broke on that first, and then in his mind he was like, "Oh, damn it," and had to turn around and try to catch DeSean Jackson. Now people are gonna say, "Well, Monte Nicholson messed that play up." Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If he took DeSean Jackson, I'm trying to remember that receiver. If that was Nelson Aguilar, that was a touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. That was a touchdown. If If he had stopped DeSean Jackson up high, Nelson Aguilar coming across the right, the right from the right side of the field to the left. That was a touchdown. If he had took that receiver, you saw the result of that play, DeSean Jackson over the top. So it was like that was another defensive breakdown. How many defensive breakdowns are you going to have before you start looking down the sideline at Minuski? I don't understand. I just don't understand. That's 2 defensive breakdowns, okay? That's 14 points. So 14 points on the board. If you had stopped one of them, guess what? Skins walk out of Philadelphia with a win.
But D-Jax was smart. He caught that long one. Then he started doing curl routes, comeback, outs. And they were playing back. Now, Quentin Dunbar had no business on DeSean Jackson. And then you started Jesse Owens.
That's it's you're asking for a lot. As a defensive coordinator, you have to make plan to have safety help over the top with DeSean Jackson. Now, is that going to open you up for other things in your defense? Yes, but that's when good defensive coordinators hide things and make things look like things they're not, and come out in disguises to make you think this part of the field is open, throw here. And guess what? You throw there, it's not open. And the Skins are lacking that as a defensive coordinator.
You know what? This is what it made me think about when I seen it. The conversation you and I had late last week, and we were talking about Madden, and we were talking about the one high safety, and I was like, when you get that safety in the middle of the field, if I run sluggo, it's just pick your poison, because somebody's gonna be open. This is just me pressing the right button. That's what it was yesterday for Carson Wentz. It was pick your poison, because it was one high safety. When do you ever run one high safety with DeSean Jackson on the field?
A lot of mistakes yesterday. And here's the thing that has been puzzling during the Jay Gruden tenure. A lot of mistakes that don't get corrected. They just keep going on and on during the game, offensively, defensively. At some point, do you have somebody on the sidelines to say, hey, we got smoked on that last time we called that. Maybe we don't do that. Or we're not running the ball well, but we have to still keep it honest and act like we're going to run the ball. Or, it seems like Jay Gruden's playing checkers and the rest of the league is playing chess. It's just what it seems like. And Minuski is playing with cars in the corner and coloring.
Wait. Bill Belichick is playing chess, but he's playing that chess on that 4-tier board that we talk about.
Yeah, Bill Belichick is playing electronic chess. He's not even there. The pieces just move. All right. So yeah, it's you can tell the difference between coaching, good coaching and bad coaching, adjustments. It's just not happening here. It really isn't. It's just usually, I'd have been on Josh Norman, but that was not his fault yesterday. It is what it is. DeSean Jackson has a whole nother gear, and you saw it. Josh Norman put that thing in the gear, and when he put it in 5th gear, you saw the smoke coming from behind him. That was it. That was top speed, baby. And DeSean Jackson hit 6th gear and say, "I'm gone. See you later, Grandpa." And you saw it. How many times have we seen each other the Darryl Greene clips of him chasing people down? Darryl had that gear. Darryl had that gear. That if you had Darryl Greene on the team, yeah, you could leave him one-on-one with DeSean Jackson, because not only does he have the footwork, the speed, but he also was smart and knew how to play. It would know how to play DeSean Jackson to keep him from getting behind him like that. So,
well, Darryl Greene's probably the only cornerback that I know that would backpedal 30 yards down the field, ride side saddle, and still pick a pass off. I'm like, dude, I'm 38, and one of my greatest experiences is being able to get footwork advice from Darryl Greene.
I was there. I was there.
I still ride side saddle.
Hey, remember in Coming to America when they were just smiling? That's how we were. I am very happy to be here.
But it was genuine love. It's one of the greatest moments of my life. I will always say that.
Yeah. Hey man, let's shift gears. We talked about the defense for a little bit. No pressure on the QB.
And
Blown coverages. I don't really put that on the guys. I put that in the position they were put in by the coaching staff. Give me your grades each unit. Let's start with offense.
offensively, I'm gonna give him a B. I won't even give him a B minus. I'll give him a B. Passing game was just off the chain.
It was.
Wonder if you seen what I seen when Case Keenum threw deep. Did it look like he threw a knuckleball deep and it just hung in the air?
It definitely isn't a Mike Vick ball. It doesn't have a velocity on it. It got there though.
Yeah,
It got there, but it didn't have that pizzazz on it that you see from the strong arms of the league. That that Aaron Rodgers zip. That Brady zip. It doesn't have that, but he can get it down there. So
it reminded me of this is old school here. Jeff Rutledge. Jeff Rutledge. Yeah, he could throw a pretty good deep out, but it looked like it would knuckleball, but it would get there. And it would be a completion, but I'm not saying there's anything wrong with his mechanics or anything with Case Keenum, but it just looked like it hung in the air a little bit. It kind of looked like technical. It just hung in the air like a Jack Trudeau pass.
it looked like the duck off Super Mario with the wings flying through the air. It's gonna get there though.
Yeah, but that was the best part about it. It got there. Defensively, with what they gave up in the pass, they gave up 313 to Carson Wentz total.
313, yeah, 313, and I believe it was 123 on the ground. Yeah, 123 on the ground.
I'm gonna give him a C minus because it wasn't terrible, minus a couple of plays, so you can improve on that. But I'll give him a C minus because just you got to take that, and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, especially lose to the Seagulls.
No, you can't call them the Seagulls because they came back and right now they holding their chests out high. Special teams, what's your grade?
I wasn't impressed with special teams. I mean, I'm always impressed with Tressway. D Hop is the man, but as far as returns, what's his name? Steven Sims. I really wasn't impressed. I'm like, we kept him over Cam Sims. Wasn't really impressed, but I'll give him a C minus because he really didn't get the chance. But
all right, well, we're gonna wrap up this segment. Offensively, I'm gonna give him a C plus, just because the struggles running the ball. Off and the passing offense is getting that whole entire C plus, and it would be a B, but they didn't replicate it in the second half for me. Defensively, D plus. Second half, come out getting gashed by the run. The DeSean Jackson bombs. The defense actually could have stepped up and won that game, but it's not all on them because the Skins came out and was kind of like, oh, we got 17-point lead. We're good now. We're gonna sit back here. And the Eagles came out and put their foot in their chest. So special teams for me, just because of Tressway and Hopkins, B plus. Tressway, when they made him repunt and they lost 3 yards on that, was it like 2 or 3 yards? I was like, yeah, don't do that again. Don't do that again. Let's wrap it up. Coaching staff, real quick. What you get a coaching staff? Great.
A D minus.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. D minus. No adjustments. They just don't have that killer instinct right now. So we're gonna wrap it up here. That's our second and final segment of the Sideline Junkies. You can check us out on Anchor FM, all your favorite podcasting platforms. You should be watching this on Instagram TV and YouTube. So check us out. See you later. I'm BJ, KG.
All right, we out.
Yeah, peace.